Now, I've talked about eating in the past. Usually I'm talking about you got to eat big to get big. Now, what I'm going to talk about specifically is what to eat. And what I'm gearing this towards is the people I see on Instagram and Facebook, that are beginner bodybuilders. They're, maybe 170, 180 pounds, and they're trying to put mass on. They don't really have a lot of muscle. And I see them take pictures of what they're eating, and they have all their meals lined up, and their chicken and rice and, turkey and asparagus and, their oatmeal and egg whites. And, they got this perfect regimen of a bodybuilder. But what they're missing is, you're not going to put on a lot of muscle, I hate to say it, eating these super lean quality calories. You need calorie dense food. You're going to need a lot more calories to put that muscle on quick. And it's great you're regimented, it's great you're cooking your food, it's great you're eating that many meals a day, you're doing everything right, but you need to eat more calories. You need to eat more calorie dense food. In the morning, you can eat the whole egg. You don't need to eat the egg white. In your oatmeal, you can put some peanut butter in the oatmeal. You can have some toast. You can have a banana. You need to eat more calorie dense foods. As far as your meats, you can eat more red meat. These are the things that are going to make you grow. And that's something that a lot of people don't get. They're eating 6 to 10 meals a day. They're regimented, they're cooking their food, but they're not really gaining any weight because they're not eating enough calories in order to put that weight on, especially if you have a fast metabolism. There's guys that have to eat, food that's not necessarily the best food to be eating just because you got to get those extra calories in. And you have to decipher what kind of body you have, what your metabolism is like, and decide what diet is best for you. Not everybody is different. Now, if you're the kid that, puts on weight easy, you've been heavy your whole life, obviously what the other guy's doing is going to work perfectly for you, and you probably have the type of body that's going to put muscle on fast. I find that kids that are a little bit overweight, thicker than other kids, they put muscle on fast. They don't need to eat as many calories. They just have to, keep their carbs lower so they don't put fat on. Now, these guys that have these fast metabolisms, you can't eat clean like that. It's not going to work. You got to eat more calorie dense foods.